Well, well, the new model year of the ENYAQ. Quite impressive, yes, yes. And this electrified Speicher is already talking about it as if it's the best thing ever done. But that guy is sponsored. That guy is only advertising around. But yeah, the new ENYAQ, quite impressive, quite impressive. What to do? Shall I switch over? And with that, hello friends of the electrified charging farm, and welcome to Speicher Elektrisiert, Electrified Speicher, your channel all around Skoda's e-mobility. My name is Matthias, and let's talk about if you should switch from a previous model year of the ENYAQ to the new model year 2024. Because basically Skoda is bringing up a new model every 6 months. Yes, that's true. They change stuff every 6 months in the car, and sometimes there are big changes and sometimes there are minor ones. And the changes from model year 2023 to the model year 2024 was a big one. And now you might think, when you drive an ENYAQ already, should I switch over? Is it worth my money to switch over to a new ENYAQ? Maybe your leasing is running out now after 3 years, maybe you already 4 years, and you think, should I stick with the ENYAQ again or shouldn't I? And well, I want to give you a brief overview what the new model year does not solve. Especially if you come from a previous model year with all the complaints around different stuff. I'll go into this topic and show you, but also I want to mention what is really great about the new model year to give you a bit of a help if it's worth to switch over to the new model year or not. And if you think this might be of help and interesting for you, then stay around and watch the video. Speaking about the ENYAQ in general, the first thing you should know is the design mainly stays the same. Exterior as well as interior, only minor changes. So if you did not like the design of the ENYAQ, you will not like the design of the model year 2024, because not much changes were done here. And you should also keep in mind that with the new model year 2025, so basically starting next year, 2025, a new design will come to the ENYAQ, the modern solid version of the ENYAQ, so an optical facelift. And if you want another design of the ENYAQ, don't go with model year 2024. And if you always want the latest version in everything, it's also not the best thing to buy an ENYAQ right now. What will this modern solid design be like? Well, think of the Study Vision 7S, where the crystal face in the front should be replaced by the new tech deck with a new design, new lights and stuff like that. We didn't see any images. There were some shots out from covered cars which look very close to the current one, so we do not really know what is coming on and what the ENYAQ should or would look like. We have to wait a bit. And if you really want something new when it comes to the platform, well, 2025 is not the year to wait for. The MEB platform will stay, and I think we will see a change in the platform moving from MEB or MEB Plus to the new SSP or whatever name it will be. We won't see that before 2028. And maybe then the platform will be 800 volts, but now waiting for 2028 for that change, I don't see this. So basically, yes, if you want a new optical design, you have to wait. Because I don't think that much of the technology, motors and battery below will change, but to that in the next chapter. Let's talk directly about charging and the new motor and the driving. Well, first off, AC charging stays the same with the model year 2024, 11 kilowatts, not more. And I doubt that we will see with model year 2025 already an increase to 22 kilowatts. It could be, but I'm pretty sure this will come with a new platform, not with the current one. Next up, vehicle to load is not available, also with the model year 2024. So plugging in to get AC current out to charge your e-bike or whatever like Kia and Hyundai offers, no, the ENYAQ does not have it, and I doubt it will come with the model year 2025 either. Then, vehicle to load and vehicle to grid. We already have this functionality in the old ENYAQ. We also have it in the new ENYAQ, but it's not activated. You still can't use it. I don't know how to do it, and I'm still on that topic to get information from Skoda. So switching to the new model year to get vehicle to grid, vehicle to home, no, it won't help. Then let's talk about the battery. Well, for the all-wheel drive, so the 85X and the RS, battery chemistry got improved. And though the battery can charge faster on the fast charger because it keeps the high peak performance when charging for a longer period. The older ENYAQs dropped the power at around 33-35% SOC, the new one around 50%, as you saw in my charging test. So yes, you can charge faster now, and this is shown in the numbers, 28 minutes for the new all-wheel drive 2024 and 36 minutes in the old one. If you've got a real old 80, then you might also profit from the new model year, but mainly not, because later on the 80 already had a faster charging due to another manufacturer of the battery, so then no need to switch. And I don't think that we see a lot of improvements in the model year 2025 for the battery. Maybe we see this slight increase in kilowatt hours we saw on the ID.3 GTX. 77 is now, 79 kilowatt hours is in the ID.3 GTX. I don't know if this comes with the new model year 2025 of the Skoda ENYAQ, so 2 kilowatt hours more. You judge yourself if you want to wait and hope that this battery will come, or if it's perfectly fine for you to have the same capacity in the model year 2024. When we talk about the motors, well, there's a huge difference. The new motor on the rear makes really a lot of fun when driving and is even more efficient. Yes, you feel the more power, you feel that punch in the 85, in the 85X and the RS. So if you're looking for something like this, then 2024 is for you. And even it's more efficient. I don't think that we see new motors with the new model year 2025. The next generation of motors, from my perspective, new platform. The other thing is, you must ask yourself if you really need that. If you are fine with the current motor of the older ENYAQ and with its efficiency, well, why switch? Switch could also be because of preheating. Now, this is another topic we need to differentiate. Yes, the software of the model year 2024 can preheat the battery, so heating up the battery to get a better fast charging experience. If it comes to the older ENYAQs, we don't know. Volkswagen and Skoda says they are trying to do so, but as of now, it's not there. Preheating, think about how often would you use it in everyday life? How often do you go to a fast charger, and how often are you there and need that couple of minutes more you get from preheating than you would not if you do not have preheating? And if your answer is, I need that just a couple of times in a year, I would not recommend switching to model year 2024 because of preheating. If you use it every day, it's a whole different story. It's the same with range. Everybody wants 900, 1100, 1300 kilometers of range, but do you really need it? And how often do you need it? That's the same question with preheating. So just be honest to yourself. If you drive in wintry conditions, if you're living in a country where it's often cold, yes, preheating is a big thing to you. But to be honest, if you live in a warm country, more southern, why? So do not overrate preheating. This is all I just want to say, but it's a function which is really nice to have. Let's talk about the interior and the changes there. And the first thing you might notice when you sit in the car is that there's a missing button on the steering wheel. And my inner monk cries so hard when I see that. Why should you do this? Yes, the functionality which was previous on this button is no longer needed, but then you put another one there, like drive modes or a configurable button, but leaving it blank, this is nonsense. And if you are a bit like me, with such an inner monk, this could be a hard thing to accept. Well, of course, this is just a minor flaw, but I have to mention it. Another way more important topic when we talk about the steering wheel is the recognition of the hands. A controversial topic with the old ENYAQ, with a lot of complaining that the hands are not quite correct recognized. And when it comes to the model year 2024, I think this is even harder. This is way more sharp in recognizing your hands, and it depends on the speed you are driving.
Basically, when you drive 50 and have your hands a bit loose on the steering wheel, maybe one up here at 9 o'clock and one down here, ENYAQ is perfectly fine with that. No messages telling you putting the hands back on the steering wheel. But if you go like 120 here on the Swiss highway and you don't have them at 9 and 3 o'clock really on the steering wheel, like some people in Germany like to drive them down here, so a bit loose and sloppy, you will get that message that you should put your hands on the wheel quite often. So I think recognition is perfectly fine, but it really looks where do you put your hands depending on the speed. For me, this is fine because I normally drive like you learn in driving school. But if you did not like that in the model year before 2024, then please do a test drive before you switch over, because it could become even worse to you. What are your experiences with that? Write me down in the comments if you already have the new model year. Now let's move on to the windshield, the front glass. Well, it's as reflective as it was with model year before 2024. So you see all the reflections, no change there. If you think this got improved, I'm sorry, it didn't. And if we talk about the USB-C ports and the inductive charging, no power increases here. Also the same with the previous model. And this also is with the plug behind here from the seat, the 230 volts plug. It's still in the 12 volt circuit of the car, so 150 watts, not more, and only working if you've got the ignition on, because then the 12 volt battery gets charged by the high volt battery and you do not empty your 12 volt battery. This is still not more power there. But there's also a lot of good things going on, and this is, for me, the head-up display. The new head-up display, the new design, and the new amount of information in the head-up display is awesome. I really like that, because now I really have nearly everything on the road when I drive. I know it's also a controversial topic. There are people out there telling that it is also sufficient if you've got it only on the main screen, because this is way more intuitive and stuff like that. It comes to personal preference. And for me, head-up display is a must, and the 2024 head-up display is really good. This could be a reason to switch to the new model year, as well as the new design of the cockpit display. It's the same size, but it looks way more tidy, well more organized to find information there. So for me, those two are big pluses when I think about switching to the new model year 2024. Now let's talk about the software, because this could be the main reason to switch from an older model ENYAQ to the new model year 2024, besides motor and better charging performance. But there's not everything gold with the new software. There are still flaws and bugs, and also some annoying features from the old software version 3 in the new software version 4. And if you hope that you do not have them in the new model year, this will not work out for you. Let me go through this. But first, let's talk about the software in general. Yes, the new software version 4 has way more performance and responsiveness than the older software. Huge plus. But you should keep in mind that already now out there are ENYAQs with software version 4.0 and 4.1. And no one knows when or if the 4.0 ENYAQs get updated to 4.1. Will it be over the air? We don't know at this point. And also, I am pretty sure that the new model year 2025 will also have a new software version, maybe version 4, maybe version 5, I don't know. And if this will come to the model year 2024, we don't know. We have no indication on this, so keep that always in mind that this could happen to you again. Because if you just look at what we know right now, there's still no update routine, because then all 4.0s should be 4.1s. Keep that just in mind. And also keep in mind the annoying things which state in the software with version 4. And the first thing is a hugely discussed topic is the OK button when you want to start driving. Some say I don't care, others say massively annoying stuff. And also in the new software version, you have to hit OK every time you start the car. And the next thing, the profiles, the user profiles didn't get improved. Still a lot of values, still a lot of information missing in those profiles. I don't use them because it simply does not make any sense to me, because some of the essential parts are not in there. So if you want to switch to get rid of the OK and to have better profiles, do not, because 2024 and software version 4 will not provide that to you. Also, another topic, having tiles multiple times on your display is also not working in software version 4. You can have one tile only one time on your dashboards, like the map, for example. But I think I have to be more precise here. Only the map tile is available once. All other tiles could be multiple times on your dashboards. So basically your phone or the route information and stuff like that. So the limitation only applies to the map, but the map was the most often mentioned tile people would love to have on multiple screens. Let's talk about road sign recognition and road sign data. Basically, it's the same as in the old software because data is the same. The new ENYAQ does not use another database than the old one. When it comes to camera recognition of those road signs, I think the new model year is a bit better, but still there are errors. It recognizes wrong signs. For example, something which is on a trailer or on some other car. And basically, this could be a bit annoying to you or you do not care, but there is another very important thing when we talk about the new software version 4. It comes with ISA, ESA. ESA is not the new LoRa. ESA is the Intelligent Speed Assistant, which is mandatory in new cars, and this is EU law. It also applies to Switzerland. So what is ESA doing? ESA is a system that tells you if you drive faster than the allowed speed, and the allowed speed means the recognized speed of the car, whether from data or camera, you will be reminded that you are driving too fast. And there are several ways to implement that. I will do a separate video on this topic, on the Intelligent Speed Assistant and the ENYAQ and how to implement. Skoda went with the way of an optic acoustic signaling to the driver. Well, first off, you will see a symbol telling you you are speeding too fast. And if you still go on speeding too fast, you will get an acoustic sound telling you that you do so. And this is dependent on the speed delta. So the faster you drive from the allowed speed, the more annoying the system gets. Yes, you can do some settings on this, but they will be resetted every time you start the car over and over again. They will never be stored in profiles, even if they improve them, because this is the law. And with this in mind, if you want to have this better, you might get into a worse situation when changing to 2024. But to be honest, in the future, all cars will have that, so better get used to it. And with this, another thing comes, it is a recognition if you are tired when driving. This was also available in the old ENYAQs, but now it's active. I never got any message of this system in my old ENYAQ, but in the new one, after driving for 2 hours, maybe you saw that in my road trip video to Ditzingen, Germany, after 2 hours it tells you, hey, you're already driving 2 hours, you should make a rest, do a break. And after 3 hours, I even got the message, hey, you look tired, now it's time for a break. So now the system is sharp, and this system as well is EU regulation and the law. Every car must have it. But to round this up, the new software is a great improvement. And switching over because of the software is a good reason to do so, but keep in mind, we do not know anything about the update path of the new software. Basically, these are my first impressions and my thoughts on my switch from the old model year to the new one, around about a month after I'm now driving the new model year. What do you think? Did you switch cars? Did you switch to the new ENYAQ or maybe a new model or another brand? Write me down in the comments. And if you switched to an ENYAQ, are you happy with your decision? Did the new ENYAQ improves your experience or solves problems you had with the previous model year? Let's discuss down. And what do you think about these quick changes? Basically, every 6 months a new model of the ENYAQ gets out with slight changes, or even those big changes year after year after year. I mean, it's great for e-mobility to have this because there's a quick development of new technology and you get that on the road quite fast. But do you feel sometimes overwhelmed how to keep up with this race? This famous FOMO, the fear of missing out something? Well, guess what? That's what I have in my head thinking about the new model year 2025 and how to bring that on that channel again. I barely have this car now and there's already a new optical facelift coming. Not to speak of the L-Rock, which I have no clue. Let's see how this works out. And if you want to see more about the new ENYAQ, the 2024, then you should subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, and maybe it helped you already, give it a thumbs up. We see each other then in the next video. And until then, stay full of energy.